In the previous class, paper chromatographic technique and the applications of the paper chromatographic technique are completed. Now we go for the one more technique, that is column chromatographic technique. In the column chromatographic technique, this is also widely applied in the research field. The purpose is it is used for the separation of the mixture, nothing but a separating technique, which involves the uniform percolation of the liquid solute through the column packed with the finely divided adsorbent material. Means you take the column, and in the column the adsorbent material is placed, and that adsorbent material acts as a stationary phase. And what is to be done? The mixture which contains different components, that component is allowed to pass over the column which contains finally divided adsorbent material, that is called as a stationary phase. And you know the stationary phase is alumina you have to take, or silica gels may be placed, or charcoal powder, or any type of resin that is taken in a solid phase, and that is called as a stationary phase. Now a mixture is separated from one another, that is dissolved in a suitable solvent, and that solvent is placed or added in a column containing a stationary phase. What happens here? When the mixture is soluble component in a particular solvent, that is nothing but a mobile phase, and that mobile phase, when it enters in the column, what happens? The components that are present, or the soluble components that are present in the solvent, when they are added or placed over the stationary phase, what happens here? All the components that are present, they start to separate from one another depending upon the affinity of the mobile phase components towards the stationary phase. Here, one point is to be considered, that is the affinity of the mixture that is present, if the components that are present, they start to percolate through the column, that is nothing but a stationary phase. The principle behind here, the process is based on the retention of the mixed or mixture of the solutes on the surface of the adsorbent, and here the adsorbent is a stationary phase. Over the stationary phase, the adsorbate materials, adsorbate here the mixture of the components, and those mixture of the components retains, means they stay on the solid stationary phase. Here the rate of adsorption is different for the different components. Suppose A, B, C, D, these are the components are present in a mixture, then all these A, B, C, D components have a different rate of adsorption, and depending upon the different rate of adsorption, these components are completely adsorbed over the chromatographic stationary phase, that is as shown in the figure. Let us consider A and B are the two components present in the mixture, and this is a column containing adsorbent, means the column is filled with a solid stationary phase, and the mixture that is present, it is dissolved in a suitable solvent, and that is called as the mobile phase, and that mobile phase is allowed to add or pass in the adsorbent column. Here, when A and B components are slowly enters in the solid stationary phase, at the same time what happens? Depending upon the rate of adsorption, the A and B starts to separate from the mixture. Suppose this part is a mixture of A and B. Slowly what happens, B is going to be separate and that is slowly enters inside the bulb. At the same time, the eluent is to be added. Then the third figure, the A and B are the mixture are present. Depending upon the rate of adsorption, the A and B having a different rate of adsorption and retention power is also different. Therefore, slowly in the column where the stationary phase is there, AB are the mobile components are entered and they start to separate from one another. Means this is a mixture is present. From this mixture, B goes downwards and A goes upwards. Like that, there is a separation is going to be taking place. Then, after the separation, the element that is to be added, and all the A and B are separated from one another. They form in the form of bands. Separate bands are to be occurs in the solid stationary chromatographic column. Then afterwards, the eluent is to be added. What happens? The eluent comes in contact with A and that zone is different from the component that is present B. It comes in contact with the eluent, that zone is to be separated. Here, the mixture AB to be separated is dissolved in a suitable solvent and it is allowed to pass through a column containing a stationary phase. Here, the component which has a greater absorbing power, it is absorbed first at the upper part of the and next the components which is having a lesser absorbing power that is separated later. Like that, all the components are separated from one another in the form of bands or you can take zones. After development of the different zones or the bands, they are removed by the addition of extractant material and here or suitable solvent is to be added and this process was named as means whatever the bands are formed, those bands are separated from one another by the addition of suitable solvent and that process is known as elution process. Here the column is washed with a suitable solvent called eluent and this eluent comes in contact with the mixed components which are separated individually A and B and these are to be separated from one another. And this type of technique has a wide application in the analytical field. You can take an example. What are the applications of the chromatographic techniques are there? The application is here. The removal of, means suppose the compound is to be purified or in the purification of the compound, whatever the trace impurities are present, these impurities are completely replaced in the form of adsorption process so that the compound is to be purified and this is one of the application of the column chromatographic technique. Whatever the soluble impurities are present in a particular substance and that substance is going to be purified by this process. Here all the impurities are completely adsorbed over the stationary phase and the component is separated, pure component is separated. This is one of the purification technique you can say. Second one is the separation of geometrical isomers. You know, you come across the that is isomers in organic field or organic components. You can take the isomers of carboxylic acid, you know, fumaric acid and malic acid. These are the two isomers of the carboxylic acid. One is a cis form and the second one is trans form. You know what is meant by cis and trans isomers and such type of isomers present in a mixture are going to be separated from one another by this column chromatographic technique is there. Then the third application is the separation of the that is this diastromers. You know what are diastromers? And here the diastromers are to be separated from one another by this technique. Next one is separation of tautomeric mixture of ketoenol form. You know what is meant by keto? Ketonic group is there. Enol form is alcoholic or carboxylic acid group is there. Such type of components are present in the mixture and racemic mixture like that, and they are going to be separated from one another. That is the separation of tautomeric mixture. Examples are given. Next one is separation of rare earths. You know what are rare earths? Lanthanides, actinides, which are found in combined state. And lanthanides, there are totally 14 elements starting with the cerium atomic number 58 to 71, lutetium. These are called as rare earths. All the rare earths are completely separated from one another by this column chromatographic technique. In that, ion exchange chromatography is also there. Next, determination of homogenetics of chemical substances. Means homogenetics means they are having a different substances, but they have a homogenetic properties, and such type of components are separated from one another. And the last one is the separation of cations and the anions from the mixed components. The mixture containing the cation and the anion, and these components are separated from one another. And this is the one of the technique called column chromatographic technique. Okay, I stop here only, and whatever the remaining part is there, that I will continue in the next class. Thank you.